Hello, and thank you for watching Business Today. In today's episode, we're going to talk about things that are going to help you with building changes. Our first guest is going to be Amanda Godward from Ecotelligent Homes, and then we're going to speak with the City Building Director, Bob Bliss.
To streamline the strategy for scalable solutions, they increase bandwidth and expand the position.
But I have to go back to the client side. I have to get FaceTime with my client partner and my senior exec.
What's the strategy?
I'll build a model, send you a spreadsheet, reach out to
I have a in-place dial-in conference call scheduled at 6 p.m. EST.
Prioritize the RFP.
I booked this meeting room for my 2 p.m. CST conference
There are a
call.
couple questions with clients that are up in the air.
It's just business today.
Our first guest is Amanda Godward. Amanda, how are you today?
Good, thank you.
And so, Amanda, you're with Ecotelligent Homes. Can you tell us exactly what Ecotelligent Homes does and how you came up with that name?
Yeah, Ecotelligent Homes is an award-winning home performance company. We use building science to solve the comfort issues in your home. So whether that be the hot second floor in the summertime or the cold living room in the wintertime, we'll come in and do an energy audit to see what's causing that and then recommend customized solutions to address those problems. And Ecotelligent Homes, we came up with the name because we're environmentally motivated. So we choose to have goals for lessening our environmental impact. And while we understand that maybe a green labeled product might not be the best solution for your home, where it makes sense, that's what we recommend for our customers. An example would be the cellulose insulation that we use. It's made here in Michigan out of 85% recycled newspaper.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So not only can I increase the comfort of my home, I can do it in a way that's friendly to the environment.
Right, exactly.
All right. So energy audits are one of the services that you offer.
Correct.
So what exactly is an energy audit and what does that entail?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So an energy audit with Ecotelligent Homes will send 2 certified professionals out to your home. It lasts about 4 hours, and they'll do visual inspections of your home, but more importantly, do diagnostic testing with some pretty fun equipment, some blower door tests, which is, it's a fan that we install temporarily in your front door. It simulates a 20-mile-an-hour wind outside, and then we'll go around with our thermal infrared camera to see where you're missing insulation or where that fan, that blower door fan, is pulling the cold air into your home. So it helps us to locate the source of your drafts. A lot of our customers think maybe they need new windows, but after we do the test with the blower door and the thermal infrared camera and truly identify the source of their drafty spots, they find that it's not necessarily the windows, which is usually a welcomed thing because windows can be a little expensive. But we find drafts located in the source being the attic space or even down in the basement.
So you put a fan in the front door. It works like a reverse attic fan. So instead of pulling the air in the house, it's pulling the air out of the house.
Right.
All right. And with this, we find different holes in the house, so to speak.
Right, yeah.
All right. So the audit is the first step. And then
Yes.
from the audit, you provide a list of different fixes that we can make for the home.
Yep, as part of that 3 to 4 hour appointment with the 2 certified professionals, we're gonna not only present you with a report of our findings, but at the end of that report, we're gonna detail 3 recommended improvement packages. We do kind of good, better, and best. And we leave it up to the homeowner to decide if they're ready to make any of those improvements and have Ecotelligent Homes install those improvements and make your home a little bit more comfortable.
Now, I have to ask, I've heard about energy audits before. I didn't know that there were actually companies that did energy audits, but I've seen the commercials from the energy company where they will come out and do an audit of your home. What is the difference between an Ecotelligent Homes audit and an audit from the power company?
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you for asking. So if you have a DTE or Consumers Energy, for example, come out to do what they call an energy audit, it's more of like a survey of your house, and it'll last roughly a half hour to an hour. They may or may not look in your attic space, and they'll just kind of provide you some general overview of how you could improve your home. Whereas our comprehensive home energy audit is a more thorough approach and actually outlines next steps as far as, here's how much it would cost to address all of your problem areas and make your house more comfortable.
Okay, so that leads us into another question. You said that you will give us some next steps of things that we can do, but you also said that you would let us know how much it would cost. So is Ecotelligent Homes doing these upgrades that we can put to the homes?
Yeah, so I have crews and equipment where we do insulation work in-house. So we do both cellulose insulation, that's the stuff made in Michigan I mentioned earlier, as well as spray foam insulation. That's one of the newer types of product to improve the comfort of your home. And then we also use subcontractors for heating and cooling work as well as renewable energy. So we've installed a couple solar projects and geothermal as well.
Solar projects and geothermal.
Yeah.
So these are affordable. I can get these put on my home. They're not just for LEED certified buildings.
No, they're absolutely affordable. And we work with Michigan Saves, which is a nonprofit that offers financing. That's pretty helpful in situations with larger scale, what we would call a deep energy retrofit. We're doing a deep energy retrofit on a farmhouse, actually. So there's no insulation on it, and we're taking it from no insulation to being fully insulated with a geothermal system. So, yeah. But we do projects just as small as a little attic space. So we run the full gamut and try to be a turnkey solution for our customers. But we always recommend that they start with the energy audit because that will really pinpoint the source of your problems. It'd be like you going to the doctor and saying you have a stomach ache and telling him what pills to prescribe. Instead, you go to the doctor and you let her do the examination and come up with the best solution for you. That's what the energy audit is for your house.
All right, that is an excellent example.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you so much for that. And so there's a lot of work that goes into the audit, and then there's a lot of after work that comes out of it. What is the pricing of this? Now, everyone's home is different, so the after work, of course, is going to be different. But
Sure.
Are the audits a standard price, or do they change based on the homes?
So our starting price for a typical home is $300 for the energy audit. That's where we send the 2 certified professionals out to your home for 3 to 4 hours. But we're actually running a special right now because of the Georgetown Energy Prize. So in Farmington Hills, in Farmington, we're offering our energy audits for $50.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
great special.
Now, you mentioned that the special was in connection with the Georgetown Energy Prize. Can you tell us a little bit about that prize and how a homeowner getting involved can actually have a snowball effect?
Yeah, absolutely. We're really excited that the city of Farmington Hills was selected to participate in the Georgetown University Energy Prize. They're one of, I believe, 50 cities participating. And it's a challenge to see which city over the course of 2 years can reduce their energy consumption the most. And the city that proves that they can reduce the most actually can win a $5 million prize. So we're excited that Farmington Hills is selected, and we're also a sponsor of the Farmington Hills and Farmington program. So the energy audit discount is in an effort to get folks involved and having you tell your neighbor that you participated and so on and so forth to help spread the word. Not only that energy audits are a great way to start saving energy in your home and improving the comfort of your home, but also, as was recently just featured in the DTE magazine, a great way to start and kick off the energy prize as well.
That is excellent. So not only can I reduce my energy bills, make my home a little bit more eco-friendly.
Yeah.
If I do this and participate, I might be part of a larger project that actually brings money to the city government
You got
to make
it.
wonderful advancements.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're having a big event for Earth Day as well. So we'll be there along with some of the other sponsors for the Energy Prize Challenge.
Excellent. So we've talked a lot, but if I want to contact you, how do I do that?
So we have a website with lots of info in it. It's ecotelligenthomes.com, or give us a call at the office. Our folks at the office will be happy to talk to you and get you scheduled to take advantage of that $50 special. And the office phone number is 248-291-7815.
Okay, give us that web address and that phone number one more time.
Sure. The web address is ecotelligenthomes.com. So ecotelligenthomes.com. And the phone number is 248-291-7815.
Thank you. Now, I want to go back to something that you said at the beginning. And you talked about building sciences and the data that you use to determine what needs to be done to a home. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and what building sciences is?
Sure. In my previous life, I like to say I was a mechanical engineer in the auto industry. So I worked for 8 years with both GM and Nissan, which is located in Farmington Hills. And I decided that I wanted to pursue something that took more advantage of my environmental side. So I founded Ecotelligent Homes about 5 years ago. And the building science is why I really got into home performance. So we use the fact-based approach, doing the blower door and the thermal infrared scans to find out what's wrong with your home, and then install the solutions that directly fix those unique problems in your home. So the building science side is me using thermodynamics and heat transfer, all that fun stuff from my mechanical engineering days, but applying it to your home.
All right, so I wanted to make sure that I asked that question just to make sure that everyone who's watching understands that this is not just setting up a blower and walking around and saying, yep, there's a leak, there's a leak. We're actually talking mechanics and physics behind what's going on, so that we're using scientifically proven methods of fixing problems, not just, oh, yeah, I saw this on a home improvement show.
Sure, absolutely. Yes, thank you for pointing that out. And while we do have a lot of great reviews from customers saying that they are happy that their home's more comfortable now, actually we just won an Angie's List award for the second year in a row for great customer service. But we stand behind that work because of the physics and the thermodynamics behind it.
That is excellent to hear. So one last question.
Yeah.
We talked a lot about the science behind this and a lot about homes. Have you ever thought about doing other than homes?
We previously did other than homes, yes. So we worked on some projects actually at Michigan State University, more on the commercial side of things, so larger scale buildings, improving their energy efficiency as well. It's not something we're dabbling in right now, maybe in the future again, but for right now we're focused on the residential side and happy to help homeowners improve their comfort.
Well, that is excellent. Was there anything that you wanted to add that we missed?
No, I don't think so. Just to encourage everybody to participate in the Greater Farmington Area Energy Prize Challenge and take advantage especially of our $50 discount, because it's normally $300. So it's a pretty great discount. And we're really proud to be a sponsor of the Energy Prize Challenge and hope folks participate.
Well, I hope that folks participate as well. And they look at the good, better, best. And I will tell you that this was a best example of what we can do to help make our homes better.
Oh, thank you so much.
Well, thank you for coming out today. Thank you for watching, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. And now we're here with Bob Bliss. Bob is the building director for the city of Farmington Hills. How are you today, Bob?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm very good. Thank you for coming out. So I wanted to have you on the show so that we could talk about exactly what it is that you do. So I'm just going to throw it out there, open-ended for you. What is the building department?
Okay. Through the International Code Council, the ICC, spends years investigating buildings that collapse, disasters, fires, roofs that collapse, decks that collapse, and through their investigation, they come up with a series of building codes. So our job is to enforce these building codes to make your home or your business or whatever it is as safe as possible for you to live in. Or if you were in a fire in a business, an office building, the best way to get out, or the way to stop the fire from spreading and for people to get out. So our job is to enforce the building codes to make your home, to make your place of business safer.
And so you say your job is to enforce the building codes, but one of the things that you do is actually educate people on the building codes. Because I have to imagine that a lot of times someone will come in and get a permit and you'll say, oh, well, you need to do this or need to do that. And they say, oh, I had no idea.
That's very true. There's several people, especially homeowners, doing work on their homes, and we try to be more patient with the homeowners than the contractors are supposed to know their job. But we will take the time to educate them. If they need, we'll walk it through it. We'll talk to them on the phone. We'll come out and do a visit if we have to show them what is required. And I've made several copies out of the books, tables and things for them to work with. So.
And I know a very common pastime nowadays is watching home improvement shows. And they do all sorts of things, and people laugh frequently when they see the shows and the host says, oh, well, we were going to spend $20,000 making this glorious renovation, but we actually spent $20,000 on the interior of your walls because it made your home safer, or because it made your business or your restaurant safer, or actually brought it up to code. Can you give us just some examples off the top of your head of things that people don't think about that are behind those walls that really make their life a lot safer?
Well, the biggest thing we find in older homes is the fire stopping, any kind of penetration inside the walls. If there was a fire in the basement or a fire up, the fire will travel through the walls and go up to your attic or spread to the rafters up to the attic space of the home, and the fire will spread a lot faster and do a lot more damage. A lot of the things we look for in the older homes is the fire stopping. All the penetrations between the floors have to be blocked to stop the fire.
Okay, and so we do these in homes as well as in businesses.
Yes.
And because I know in Farmington Hills, we have a lot of entrepreneurs and small business owners who find awesome deals. They buy their buildings, and they're not contractors, but they're thinking of their business as they think of their home. So they maybe pull a permit themselves and go in to do work because they're handy people and they've done it to their home. Are there differences between the building regulations and the home regulations that they should be aware of?
Well, to do a home, anyone can pull a homeowner's permit to work on their home. Mm-hmm. For a business, you don't need a builder's license to be the general contractor. Anybody can be a general contractor. But for commercial property, you have to be a licensed tradesman, like licensed plumber, licensed mechanical contractor to do work in commercial buildings.
So this is an interesting thing that we should know. See, you once again, education.
Right.
So I can do anything that I need to do to my home, great handyman or whatever. But if I own a commercial building, I can be the general contractor and I can set up all of the different trades that are going to come in. But I do need licensed tradesmen to do all of the work.
Correct.
All right.
Even if you do your home, you still need to do a homeowner's permit. You still would require to be permits, but you could do it yourself.
Okay. And then when I pull those permits, anything that's non-cosmetic, you're going to come in and make sure that it actually meets the code.
Correct. There's a series of inspections, and when you're issued your permit, you're given a list of inspections. You just go right down the list and call in your inspections when you get to that point, and we come out and see where you're at.
Okay. And so can you give us some examples of the times when we need to pull a permit?
It's pretty much, it's easier to say what doesn't need a permit.
Okay.
Okay. I just, cosmetic things like tiling, wallpaper, painting, flooring, carpeting, those don't require permits. If you want to change your kitchen cabinets, if you're just taking the cabinets off, putting new ones up, that does not need a permit.
Okay.
If you want to work on the outside, sidewalks, driveways, playground equipment, pools less than 24 inches deep, these things do not need permits.
Okay.
Pretty much anything else pretty much needs a permit.
All right. So here's a question. I have a room. Let's say it's a 20 by 20, and I want to put a dividing wall in that room and make it 2 rooms.
Okay.
Is that a cosmetic change or is that a structural change?
That would need a permit. It depends on how you define structural. It's not probably adding any structural support to the roof, but it's a structure, you're putting up a new wall. So yes, but that would definitely need a permit.
Okay. Walls need permits.
Correct.
All right. Any wall we need a permit.
Right.
Good to know that. So you talked about the fact that we're gonna have people are gonna come out. They're gonna do the inspections. Tell us a little bit about that whole process. How do I contact the building department to get set up for the inspectors to come out? How long of a lead time do they need?
Okay, for the most part, we're on 24 hours. If you call today, you can get an inspection tomorrow. When we get busy, sometimes that might go out to 2 or 3 days. For the most part, we maintain 24 hours through the past 4 or 5 years. Last year, when it got really busy, we were backed up maybe 3 or 4 days. But for the most part, you call the building department number and talk to one of the clerks, schedule your inspection. We'll be out there the next day.
What happens if I call you up for the inspection and it doesn't quite go exactly like we wanted? Walk me through the process.
Well, if it's completely not meeting the code, you would probably just get a disapproval and have to call for another inspection after you make the repairs. Mm-hmm. A lot of times we'll do a partial approval, so you can continue with a portion of it, but we'll need to come back out and inspect other portions of it. But we're user friendly. We try to help everybody. You know, it's not rocket science, but at the same time, if you're not familiar with it, you don't know what to look for. Where we have to go through continuing education to be maintained up with the current codes. So we're user friendly. You call us, we'll come out and take a look. If it doesn't pass, it's not a big deal. You make the repairs and call back in the next day or whatever. So.
And that's really what I wanted to ask that question for. For those entrepreneurs who are out there, maybe general contracting themselves, trying to cobble things together. They don't know what maybe their electrician did to cut corners or something. So you're going to be out there and say, hey, this didn't quite mesh up, and this is what you need to do to get us to where we need to be. It's not just didn't work, I'll see you tomorrow. There's education behind it.
Well, correct. We can't just disapprove it and walk out the door. We will give you a list. We'll write it on a red tag if it's a disapproved, and explain what did not pass the code, what did not meet the code. And you can call your electrician back to make those repairs, or if you're a homeowner and you have an electrician, you call the electrician, let him fix it. If you're doing your own work, then you would make the changes and just call us back. So
That's excellent. Now, one of the things that I wanted to ask you about was, I'm a small business owner and I just signed a new lease here in Farmington Hills, and I'm all ready to move into my building. What do I need to know that maybe hadn't crossed my mind?
okay, if you're not making any changes, if you're just moving into the building as is, you would come to the building counter, you would fill out a reoccupancy application. Per the building code, everything has to have an occupant or a C of O, certificate of occupancy, to be in that building. Anytime anybody changes occupancy, anytime there's a change of address, change of building, change of occupancy, change of use group, you need a new certificate of occupancy. So you'd come in and you would apply for a reoccupancy application. We would come out and do a inspection on your building to make sure it's up to code, and then we'd issue the C of O, certificate of occupancy, for you.
Okay, and so even if I'm moving into a building that someone moved out of yesterday, we still go through the same process?
Correct.
All right. And what about a new building? So I'm signing a lease on a brand new built-to-suit building. Is the certificate of occupancy going to be something that I'm going to do, or will the builder be doing that?
Normally, if you had a building that was built specifically for your use, you hired the builder to do this. Mm-hmm. When the permit was finalized, the C of O would have been issued at that point. You would not have to do that separately.
Okay, so that's
Right.
great to know. So if I'm moving into an existing building, I'm going to get a certificate of occupancy through the reoccupancy request.
Correct.
If I'm moving into a new building, the certificate of occupancy will be issued at the time that the final building inspection is done.
Correct. If it was built for you, if you hired the builder, was in your name, and it was right from the beginning, your business was going to move in there, then the C of O would have been issued to your building, to your business.
Right.
Right.
Okay. And so if I'm out there and I find a building that's been sitting there and I think, oh, this is a great building, one of the things that I want to do is check with the building department to have you guys come through, make sure that everything is up to code. A question that comes to mind, a lot of people were familiar with the inspections that they get before they buy a home. Is that something that the building department does? Is that a service that they offer?
No, we don't do, people that have an inspection before they buy a home, that's called a home inspection. That's a private business that does home inspections. We don't do an inspection before you move in. If it's an office building and you're moving another office building into it or another office business into it, we're not going to require any major changes. The only thing we might look for is life safety issues, exit signs, emergency lighting, perhaps more handicap accessible door hardware. But we're not going to make you move walls and change walls. If you're not changing the use group, things won't change.
That is wonderful to know. So again, the purpose of the building department is to make sure that everything is safe and sanitary for our use. If we're moving into a building and we're not changing the use code, you're going to come in, you're going to make sure that all of those primary things are as they should be. You're not asking for major structural changes. Last question. When I'm ready to do all of this, who do I call?
Okay, you would call the building department. Our number is listed on obviously on the city website, but our number is 248-871-2700. 2450. That's the building department desk. And the clerks there can help you, or we get a lot of calls in the morning where they want to talk to the inspectors before they go out so they can arrange times, or if they have questions before we get there. But if you call that main number, they can direct you where you need to be.
Awesome. And you also are available at the city website,
Correct.
which is,
That's www.fhgov.com.
well, thank you so much for stopping by today, Bob.
Yep, thank you.
Happy to have you. And thank you for watching Business Today. I'm Kelfani Stevens, the host and the Economic Development Director for the City of Farmington Hills. I can be reached at 248-871-2506 or K Stevens, that's KSTEPHENS, at fhgov.com.